We've got 10 years left. Agenda 21 for the good of the society is real. You know, just like the Jetsons and Space 2001 predicted our future, just like 1984, the novel showed us a dark glimpse of the future. Well, the future is here. And you and I had better get our heads out of the sand because the United Nations has set up a new world order for the masses. The government says that there's too many people on the planet. And the United Nations has implemented a new world order, and it's called Agenda 21. And it's not a joke. And it's not a conspiracy theory. I have read copies of the declassified document, people. You've got 10 years and it will be in full effect, and it has already begun. Agenda 21. It's to take place in 2030. You see, there's a mass deception happening in our midst. A mass deception is happening right now. While most of the population is focusing on politics and the impeachment of an American president, the stage has already been set for Agenda 21. Open your eyes and you can see it's already begun. In 1992, President Barack Obama spoke at the UN conference, speaking about sustainable development. He touched on 4 sections of a comprehensive blueprint of action to be taken, to be put into action locally, nationally, and globally. Now, this conference took place in Rio de Janeiro, and I listened carefully to Obama and how he laid out the plan of the 21st century called Sustainable Development Agenda. They picked President Obama for a specific reason. He's such an eloquent speaker that he can take the worst news and make it sound pretty, and he did. So what does Agenda 21 have to do with you and I? Well, the document says that by 2030, sustainable development will be in full force. It'll be in full effect. And it's all about control of the masses, control of you and I. It's about controlling our food, our water, our money, our land, our education, depopulation, and mandatory vaccines, and attacking our private property. A lot of this is going to be funded by the company Monsanto, the same company that so graciously gave us Agent Orange, the chemical that killed our soldiers in the 60s. It's about taking our liberties for the greater good, and whenever you hear that term, greater good, it's not good. It's about redefining what a city is, replacing what we know as cities for what's going to be called new urban spaces. It's about raising taxes to discourage gasoline use and encouraging people to ride bikes, or should I say forcing us to ride bikes. It's about population stabilization, because the government says that there's too many people on the planet, and so Planned Parenthood will be implemented through the food we eat. Birth control is going to be in the food we eat. Our food's going to be genetically modified. We're already used to it. Our corn will be injected with the toxic fluoride developed already by DuPont. It's called sodium fluoride, called epicite. And epicite gene causes infertility, organ failure, causes holes in the throat, and it causes allergies. It's all about depopulation through our food. Bill Gates spoke about it. Remember? Sterilizing people through the food we eat. And who do you think will receive the depopulation agenda first? Well, blacks, African Americans, the poor of all colors, and people of Latin persuasion, of course. Our Latin brothers and sisters are already being caged up, so it won't be a big deal at that point. And silence is compliance, and no one is pushing back. So in 10 years, this will be a reality. The groundwork is already in place. But remember, all of this is for the good of society, right? The United Nations dictates everything. And right now, Our young people are being engineered to total dependence on social media. Freedom and privacy is a foreign concept. Free thinking and creativity and using your imagination are foreign concepts. Thinking for yourself is a foreign concept to our youth already. See, there's going to be smart homes that will send out signals so we can be tracked for our consumption use. So if we are put under a quota, they'll know if we're using too much or exactly what we're using. And that's going to be under a collective system, as President Obama called it in this UN speech. He called it a collective system. There's going to be concentration camps for thought crimes. And the vegan agenda, it's already being pushed because in 10 years there's not going to be any real meat allowed. No real beef. That's why Burger King and these places are coming out with this no meat burger. They're already getting us ready for it. We're going to live in prefab row houses, basically projects, and we're going to live under mass surveillance. We already have closed circuit cameras on every pole in America. There's going to be global depopulation by 2030, I'm telling you. And there won't be any jails because concentration camps will be here. The jails are full. There's no more rooms in jails. That's right. And our Latin brothers and sisters that are being put in cages, they're showing you the beginning of something. And while we're focusing on the impeachment of a U.S. president, Agenda 21 is being put into effect as we live and breathe. We're under such a mass deception right now. People, this is a mass deception. Most of us can't see what's coming. Our food's going to be changed. Our land will be for farming instead of living space. My backyard, it's not going to be for hanging out and looking pretty. It's going to be for farming. And there's going to be demarcated and protected areas, closed off areas that you won't be able to go. Sustainability will encompass our free social life, climate, poverty, our consumption use, cities, infrastructure, slum partnerships, city governance. President Obama spoke about this at the UN and he made it sound so pretty. There will be and currently is mind control through frequencies. And why do you think the young people are killing the way they are? Because it's mind control through frequencies. There's not going to be any more property rights. You're not going to own anything. You'll own nothing. Go to the TED Talks and look up no ownership and you can see it. They talk about it on the TED Talks. The CIA is going to control our minds. No more picking your style of clothes because we're going to be in uniforms. I remember somebody telling me, you dress so different. If you want to look different, go back to Berlin. I can do it right here, as long as I'm allowed. But with this Agenda 21, they want to put us in uniforms. And for energy, to heat your little space and to get cool in your little cubby hole they're going to put you in, you're going to be forced to walk on a treadmill for so many hours out of a day. This is all in Agenda 21. This is all in the document. This is and will be a one world order under Agreement Form 1992, Sustainable Development. It's already been signed. President Obama eloquently spoke about it in 1992. He made it sound so nice. This Agenda 21 will affect everyone on the planet by 2030. Oh, and there will be concentration camps. FEMA's going to be a part of it. As I said, the jails are already full. Open your eyes. They're sliding this in right past us. We're so focused on the dumb shit, holidays, taking selfies, Disneyland, all the while our demise is going to be horrible in 10 years. It's already been signed. Keep killing each other, my black folk. African American brothers and sisters, keep killing each other. Keep your mind on Hollywood and the latest rap song and the latest designer and housewives of wherever, because the UN has something waiting for us, and it won't be pretty. You're not going to believe it when it actually happens, and you're not going to be prepared for it. So don't complain that you didn't know. There will be compact cities. There are going to be projects. They're called stack and pack housing projects. There will be walled off areas that you're not going to be able to go. There will be mandatory vaccinations. They're going to come up with these microwave illnesses, so you'll have to be vaccinated. Honey, why do you think 75% of the population is sick right today with this so-called flu? And people who aren't vaccinated or haven't been vaccinated, they're dying. People, nothing is a coincidence in this life. We're not going to own anything. And there's going to be a universal income. 1% will own everything. Because we're going to be living in smart cities. And there'll be no more consumer choices. You'll lease everything. You'll pay no rent. An algorithm will choose the products for us. And artificial intelligence will completely take over in 10 more years. We're going to live in a socialist utopia. There'll be no more privacy. Our dreams are going to be recorded. This is all in the document. If we don't conform, then we go to a FEMA concentration camp for non-compliance. So if you're going to grumble, grumble quietly. And you can forget your social media rights. Ain't going to be none. Oh, and for the women who didn't go after equal pay, don't worry about it. Don't worry that you never got your equal pay. Forget about it, because there's going to be a universal basic income. That's what the UN's calling it, a universal basic income. Remember the word basic. It's just enough to live on. And the government's going to be our boss. Oh yeah, and your access to goods, it can be turned off. And you'll be forced to travel less and less. And you got a passport right now? Anybody out there listening to me have a passport? You better use it while you can. And there's going to be flying cars, already in production. If you don't believe it, my dad said there would never be cars that drive themselves. And my dad's gone and passed on, but guess what? Dad, they're here. Many people didn't believe Agent Orange killed our soldiers, but it did, thanks to Monsanto. And don't worry about a lack of food. There's going to be urban centers that you can hop on your bike and get to. This is called sustainable development. Already been signed and already being implemented, and it'll be in full effect by 2030, 10 years from now. All roads will have 2 lanes, in and out. That's to control us. You see, 5G cameras will show everything we are doing and saying. So be aware of your surroundings, because 5G emitters are emitting frequencies of mind control. Right now, today, crimes are being induced by frequencies. I see it here. The crime that these young people are doing, killing people, it's a frequency-induced phenomenon. Open your eyes. 5G is messing with folks' heads already, right now, today. We're all being exposed to radiation through 5G cameras. Sprint, AT&T, Wi-Fi cell phones, LG, and Verizon, they're all working to build 5G systems. And you know brain cancer is linked to 5G. So just so you know, the wireless industry will invest $275 billion in the next few years in 5G promotion, and it's going to create 3 million jobs for 5G. Now, if all of this sounds far-fetched, then look it up for yourself. Go to Agenda 21 Sustainable Development Agreement that was signed back in 1992. And it's going to be in full effect by 2030. And 20 years from now, there will be flying cars. They're already in production. The UN is passing all of this right by us, and we only have 10 years to go. The changes are happening now. Check it out for yourself. Nothing will be the same. So be as creative and as different as you can while you can. This is not a fairy tale. And it sure ain't no urban legend. You can see the document for yourself. This is your and my reality as of 2030. So welcome to the New World Order reality. Well, like, subscribe, be a genius. Think for yourself while you can. This is a Marologic channel.